Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Now we're talking. I'm Tom Baldridge. I'm the president of Lancaster Chamber, and we are very appreciative to have all 120 or so of you here today to hear the tale about the envisioned future of the Lancaster Chamber, and I'm telling you up front, to help participate in continuing that tale of the new chamber. At the end of today's session, for the last 15 minutes or so, we do intend to leave time to solicit your feedback in a real-time fashion so that we are hopeful that what you hear you can react to with some questions that we can further answer and define. I will also tell you in advance that you're going to be getting a survey from us after this meeting, asking you to fill out that as well and provide us as much additional information as you can, because we are on a journey. And the journey that we're on is one that's incumbent upon us to do it with all of you, the business community of Lancaster County. And we know it'll be better if we get your feedback and engagement throughout this process. So these meetings that we're having, this is one of 7 throughout the county. We've been extremely pleased with the attendance at these 7 meetings. We've had roughly 120 to 150 at each of these sessions. We have 3 more to go after today, but they've been really encouraging, and we're hopeful that we can continue that dynamic today as well. Before I get started, I do want to bring up Victor Ramos and thank our sponsor for today's session, which is Harrisburg Area Community College Lancaster Campus, or HAC. Victor is the vice president of the
Something along those lines.
He's the top guy of this particular branch campus, and he's probably known to many of you because he makes it a point to get out there and connect and network with the local business community in a tremendous way, because HAC is committed to making sure that they're doing what they can to meet the local business community's needs, and we're very fortunate to have someone like Victor that embodies that type of mindset and working with the business community, and their hosting today is just one more example of that. So Victor, thank you very much, and please share a few words.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you to the Chamber for all the hard work that you do for the business community. Certainly, we would not be the best county in the Commonwealth without your help. So thank you. Thank you. So Tom did pretty much my introduction. I'm Victor Ramos. I'm the campus vice president for the Lancaster campus. I've been with HAC for about 1.5 years. I came here from New York, so I'm one of those transplants. So I'm not true Lancastrian, but many of you have welcomed me into your businesses, into your homes, and have trusted me with some of your students' care here. So thank you very much for that. We're a campus. We've been part of HAC for 26 years. We've been in Lancaster County for 26 years. We're celebrating 15 years at this location. We have roughly 4,000 students here. We have 40 majors that you can fully complete on campus here. Our average age here is 26 years old, so we have a bit of a non-traditional population. So some of our students here are coming to us with multiple careers, not just your traditional 18-year-old. On this campus, we're slightly below the HAC average of a little over 27. We're at 26.2 average age, so we're slightly younger. For here, our largest major is nursing and healthcare. So out of our 4,000 students, a little over 1,000 are in nursing, pre-nursing, clinical, rad tech, cardiovascular technology. So if you've been to one of the hospitals or community health centers, you've probably been helped by one of our students or graduates. So on behalf of HAC, we'd love to just certainly again say thank you for your participation today, and thank you for being great community partners.
Thank you. Okay, before we get started with sharing with you what the future of the Chamber could be like and how you will be involved in that, we'd like to start off with an exercise to get your participation right out of the gate. Over the course of the last 5 years or so, whenever we do a Chamber membership survey, there's an issue that has increasingly creeped up every year in terms of your responses telling us it's a critical issue facing a local business community. And that issue is the availability of workforce. And this year, it was by far the #1 concern, and acknowledged by many as a reality of holding them back to what they could be doing as a company versus what they are doing simply because they can't find the available workforce. So what we want to do today to start things off is to have a dialogue around that issue. And the way we're going to be doing it, if you want to advance that, please. The way we'll be doing it is at each of your tables, we'd like you to take the next 10 minutes and talk about this issue of availability of workforce and come up with ideas, solutions, or opportunities, long-term or short-term, that can impact this for the better. Something you can do, something the chamber can do, or something the community can do to make sure that we're well positioned into the future with a quality workforce. What we'll be doing when you're done is going around the room, and every table will report on one idea, opportunity, or solution that you came up with at your table, and we'll all share in that then as we go around. And we'll manage that conversation quickly, so when you're thinking about what your table's going to say, think sentence, not paragraph, and we'll work from there. So, over the course of the night, is everybody clear on the instructions? You have 10 minutes. Begin the discussion at your table. Thank you. Okay, time is up. Try to wrap up those conversations, please. Time is up. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to come around the room. Someone on your table will stand up. Please introduce yourself by your name and your company. Heather will be typing in your answers up here on this list. This list is an accumulating list over all of the annual business meetings that we're having throughout the county. When you get your survey results, you're going to get this list plus the 3 prior recommendations that we've gotten beforehand. And at the end of this, we're going to have a platform of issues to work from for the chamber that are aligned with exactly what you're telling us are the needs for solving this local workforce challenge. So, let me start over here, name and company, and your one idea. Now, set the pace so that everybody gets the concept.
So I'm going to set this bar really low. You all will be pleased. I'm John Matthews. I'm with Distributed Systems Services. And we came to the conclusion that we need to build an inclusive network in Lancaster County for the natives of the county to want to stay here and to work here.
Thank you very much. This table, yes.
Yeah, so we came up with, Andrew Soul with M&T Bank. We came up with housing, having affordable, available housing. Someone at our table just bought a house, and it was perceived that they needed to buy in order to have a better way of life and perhaps cheaper. It shouldn't be that way. So having more options for affordability and accessibility, both rental and then perhaps assistance for home ownership as well in the local market.
Thank you. Here.
Hey, good afternoon, Randy Johnston from the Economic Development Company. Our table focused on continued education and communication around trade school opportunities and careers, how young people need to see those as valuable and also as economically supporting for their life.
Thank you. This table.
Hi, Preston Feldy with Canteen Vending Services, and kind of this stole our thunder pretty much, but in our vending industry, we're looking for additional training and education for people in our industry. Seems like there's programs for different industries, but when it comes to vending, there isn't anything where we can help to pull more people in towards our industry.
Thank you. I will say, if somebody says that you're what you had on your card ready to say, you'll say the next thing. No repeats, all right?
Pam Smith, School District of Lancaster. We'll back up the one step from what these two tables shared and basically looking at a pipeline to get kids interested in different careers in this. So it would have to be ongoing and meaningful exposure to different opportunities.
Adrian Garcia, Melcar State Farm Agency. Financial literacy. A kid is not going to be able to decide what they're going to do and how much that's going to be worth to them until they know the value of money. So as a community, we need to come together and bring together the American dream with reality.
Thank you. This table. Don.
Don Rank, Burger View Farm, Bed and Breakfast, and we have 3 in realty and 2 bankers and Howard Hanna and a farmer. So one thing that wasn't said was we need to resolve immigration issues.
Thank you. Whoa. This table?
I'm Don Dagan. I'm an instructor at Thaddeus Stevens College, so I kind of hijacked our conversation, and we had a similar thing. We'll try to be a little bit different and say we want to rebrand two-year technology trades, and if the chamber can get that message to guidance counselors, we feel like that'd be an impact.
Thank you. This table? Tara?
Hello, everyone. Tara Claudio with Summit Technology. We're an IT company. We have a little bit of similarity, but not quite. So I'm not on the branding. We have the two-parter. The onus is partly on us as a community and partly on those coming into the workforce. So for us, it's our responsibility to really brand ourselves as a destination that wants to attract tradesmen, but also higher level thinking, people coming in from different areas of the country and looking to see, are we still just a farming area, or do we have other amenities that might be attractive to them? And also then on them, that the workforce needs to have better set expectations. I think that one of the things we discussed was in various positions, people are coming out of school and thinking, I'm going to come out and make $100,000. And they need kind of a reality check. So it's a two-parter, as is employees and employer, and that's kind of what we went with.
Thank you. This table? You're all.
Kathy Ross, Berkshire Hathaway. We talked about a few things. One was affordable housing, one was skill sets, and the need for affordable housing. But if my skill set only says I can make $10, $15 an hour, what's that? You know, people are struggling, and we need to help them get into a position where they can grow and learn and make enough money to be good.
Thank you very much. This table?
Michelle Rondinelli with Kitchen Kettle. We talked a little bit about internships and we know they exist, and maybe it was from our host that kind of spurred some of the discussion, but I don't know if there's a resource that can help connect all of the possibilities that do exist with internships, and we've seen a lot of success with them, and possibly something that the new business center that we'll talk about could play a role in, but how we connect it and then how to effectively implement an internship program.
Thank you. Here?
Claudia Hines with Special Occasions, and we have a lot of similar ideas, but the one that hasn't been mentioned is that school with a pre-K year-round will start the workforce from the ground up, start at seed.
Thank you. Here?
Hi, I'm Matt Samley with East Samley, Wagon, Southern Beacon, and Baldwin Law Offices. I'm also on the adjunct faculty here at HAC at the Business Studies Department. I think there's a common theme here with some in the technology and so forth in terms of a disconnect between what's going on in the high schools versus what's going on in the needs in the college community. We need to encourage what we call gold-collar jobs. These are jobs in technology, nursing, and so forth, not just mainstream college education. We know that as a business community. I'm not sure the high schools really know that. Are we communicating with with the educational mainstream at that level, or are we still doing things we did 20 years ago? So we need to get kind of with the program.
Thank you. Sue?
Sue Suter with United Way of Lancaster County. We also talked about pre-K and others, but I think the number one thing we thought of was more flexible benefit packages with employers. Because when you think about people 45 and older, they're concerned about health care. Younger are concerned about paid time off. So trying to be a little more flexible with the benefit packages for employees.
Thank you. And this table, last but not least.
Hi, I'm Rachel Blauberg with Rainbow Comedy Playhouse. We're a small group here, so there was only 3 of us to pull from, but we would really like to see more opportunities for soft skill training with some lower level employees and management. We're finding that it's hard to hold on to them because a lot of them just don't have the people and community skills. So we'd like to see more opportunities for training and education and development, which at the risk of being repetitive seems to be a common theme.
Thank you very much. Thank you all very much for those answers. They are consistent with what we've been hearing, although there were some nuances that were new and enlightening to the conversation, and we appreciate that. I want to make 2 observations about this discussion. The first observation is this. Of all the ideas that everybody in this room gave, not prompted, totally on your own, whatever, not one table gave an idea that one company can solve on their own. This issue, nobody said what we need to do is change my company's work hours from 8:30 to 5 and we can therefore attract better people. You all talked about it in the much broader picture, much more systemic issues like affordable housing, education, pre-K, skills training, etc. And the fact of the matter is that is exactly what the Chamber is committed to better leveraging, is that collective voice of the business community, the ideas that are generated among the business community, and then mobilizing them to action to make a positive difference in the community. And that's what we want to share with you here today. The second observation is this. I mentioned at the very beginning that this issue of availability of workforce is an issue that is increasingly rising as an area of concern amongst the entire Lancaster County business community. And it's not just the fact that we have 3.8% unemployment, it's also the fact that manufacturers have 40–50% of their workforce 55 and older. It's also that skills gaps are significant. Someone may have a job, but they're not able to advance because of a skills challenge, or other areas where we acutely need workers simply don't have the people to fill it, be it transportation or a whole host of other issues. The point is this, there's a lot of change going on. We need to adjust as a community to that change to make sure that we're going to be well prepared to meet with us in the future. And every year this issue of workforce keeps getting more and more acute, and it's indicative of the type of change that's going around in front of us on a daily basis. To put that change in somewhat of a perspective and to get us talking about the change within the Chamber, it's my pleasure to turn the microphone over to Cheryl Irwin-Bass, the Vice President of the Chamber, to talk a little bit about the context of change. Cheryl?
It's not advancing now.
Heather's here to help.
Well, so from the Chamber's perspective, obviously, when you're trying to figure out where you're headed, it's a lot easier to do that if you can have some sort of context from where you're coming from and what all has changed. So I'm really here to kind of set the stage on what all has changed in the way we do business and what's changed in that business landscape. So what I'd like us all to do is just kind of think back 10 to 15 years ago. It doesn't seem that long ago. But just how much has actually changed and evolved in the way you all do business. The way we conduct business, the way we communicate, the way we interact and engage our customers and clients, and even some of the things that have actually taken place internally in our operations and even with the positions that we have today. So just technological advancements alone have really changed how we communicated. It's increased our availability and probably has forever changed our expectations on response times. It's allowed us to be much more efficient, but certainly with much higher expectations for productivity and for multitasking. How we find information and how we use it has also changed. Technology has improved the way we collect data and information on our customers, on our prospects, what we know about our competition, and even what we know about our job candidates before they come into the office. Desk phones have really gone way of the mobile phone, which has also really impacted how we communicate. Many of us are responding more to text messages today than to voicemail messages. And again, these mobile devices have really increased our availability and at times decreased our attention, which I'm sure is not happening right now in this room. iPads, tablets, laptops, we all have them. We bring them to work. We bring them to meetings. We bring them to coffee shops. And all of the hundreds of business apps that are up there represent so many of them that have emerged over the years to help us improve our business performance, our time management, and our responsiveness. And we count on our mobile devices so much to keep us working efficiently when we're on the go. But perhaps one of the areas of fastest growth and has the biggest impact on business has been social media. We have Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Periscope, Pinterest. The list goes on and on. Today, we have to know how to communicate in 140 characters or less, regularly post engaging content to engage our customers and clients, and even know how to recruit our next employee on LinkedIn. We also have, many of us have full-time social media specialists in our company now, that they help us to, again, engage our customers, put out news and information about our companies, and even monitor our own brands and our own products. We'd probably all agree today that we're time crunched. So which really impacts how we get our news and information. We don't read long emails, letters, and articles. We know that. So what we do is we get our news and information in small, digestible chunks. But better yet, we get it visually. We get it through pictures, or we get it through videos. And because our iPhones and our tablets are typically the only thing we really have with us regularly, all of that information also better be optimized for our mobile devices. How we meet and gather is different today. We don't just meet in person and attend those meetings that are pre-scheduled meetings and go to them in person. Again, because we're on the go and we're mobile, we call into meetings, we Skype. We'll even start having go-to meetings where no one participant is in the same room during that meeting. Meetups have become really popular for groups with similar interests, and social media and the internet has really just opened up all kinds of opportunities on how we meet and engage with other individuals. And then all of these advancements, again, allow us to meet with customers and clients and our vendors and job candidates around the world, which has now also then expanded both our ability to do business worldwide, as well as expanded our employee pool as well. And how we learn has changed. I think Victor could probably attest to this, and every college campus and university is really thinking about how we learn is so much different. We watch YouTube videos now. We don't know how to do something, we search it on YouTube, we search it on Google. Just about any topic we're able to learn more about. There are so many webinars and discussion groups that we can participate in to get additional information. And then hundreds of options for those self-paced kind of online training classes and unlimited content that's now shared. Things that we used to hold close to the vest is now available for all to see. Even our workspaces have changed. So if we're in a traditional work environment, we're no longer holed up in our offices or high-walled cubicles. We have all this open space now, this creative space with sofas and comfy chairs and places for us to dream big and innovate. And entrepreneurs often work in buildings where they have that shared workspace, allowing for collaboration and shared workspaces. And for some, when they're starting up, they're able to all but eliminate that overhead startup cost. And even our business models have changed, particularly with the sharing economy. We have Kickstarter, Lyft, Uber, Airbnb. I mean, who would have thought 10 years ago that what's soon to be the largest hotelier in the world doesn't own a single room, or the largest taxi company in the world doesn't own a single car? So my point in all of this is a lot has changed over the years. And you all and your businesses have had to adapt to all of this change. Because quite frankly, if you didn't adapt, you wouldn't be here today. You certainly wouldn't be as successful as you are. And whether that change came from technology, from generational differences, or some other factor, you have had to adapt along the way. Your chamber's no different. I mean, we really need to assess what has changed for you, what in that environment is different in the way you do business and you operate, and we have to adapt. We can't possibly operate on the same business model, in the same delivery systems that we have for years and years, when so much about how you conduct business and how you communicate and how you learn and how you get information has changed. So what you're about to hear from the speakers after me is about our envisioned future. And it's really about how we're taking all of this information and all of the things that you've shared with us and using that in a way so that we can adapt to better serve you, to deliver increased value over time, to continue to be your partner in developing a prosperous community, and to continue to be that strong voice of the business community. So here to talk a little bit more about how the Chamber has advanced its envisioned future, I'd like to introduce Peter Barber. He is the 2016 Chair of the Board and President of Two Dudes Painting.
Thank you, Cheryl. And good afternoon. And thank you very much for coming out this afternoon and giving your time today to hear about what the Chamber is doing and to actually offer your input about how we can improve what our plan is as the Chamber is going forward. It's a real honor to spend this year with the Chamber and be working with them. And in my business, Two Dudes Painting Company, we've changed a lot. As Cheryl has talked about the general business environment, we've changed a lot over the 28 years that we've been in business. And this is going back to the days when my partner, there was just two of us back then, and we drove around in our old Volkswagen bus and made our way to different job sites and worked every day, and we're out on the street trying to get things done. And we've evolved over that time to have a fully mobile workforce, that we're out in the field, over 40 painters every day that are connected back into the office with iPads, smartphones. They're getting digital files through Dropbox and Google Drive, so we can remotely manage a workforce like that. That's a great example of how we've taken some of this fundamental change we've had as part of our as part of how the world and technology has evolved and applied it to how our business operates. And the Chamber needs to do some of these same things. And while we're going to evolve the Chamber and change some of the systems and operations of how we do things, one of the things that we want you to all rest assured that it's still going to be the Chamber that you know and depend on for a lot of the things that you've come to be used to in the past. And just like the dudes have changed over the years, and we're out doing all kinds of things with technology out in the field, at the end of the day, sometimes I still hop in the Volkswagen bus and drive around town and visit the job sites. And brings us back to what was really the true roots of what our organization is all about. So this process of change that the Chamber is going through right now, it really has its roots back over a year ago when we started last year at these consortium meetings, getting your input and gathering feedback from each one of you. Just like we're doing this year, we had 7 consortium meetings going around, talking to the community, talking about what we're doing, and trying to get an understanding of what the important business issues were in front of you. And one of the things we've heard loud and clear throughout that whole process is a clear understanding that that the county's prosperity is incredibly tied to the opportunity of success of your business. So we can't have a prosperous business if Lancaster County is not prosperous. I can't sell paint jobs to you if you don't have a good job, if you don't have housing that you're dependent upon the value and retaining and maintaining the value, and let alone increasing the value. And that's not just my business, but that's all of you, whether you're trying to get people to come to baseball games, or whether you're trying to put people into hotel rooms, or whether you're trying to sell some kind of food product. You always need to have a community, a willing, receptive community, in order to, and prosperous community in order for you to be successful. So we heard that, and as we talked about what our vision statement going forward is, the Chamber is, our vision is not to have just a prosperous business community, but really recognizing that it extends far beyond that. It's all about having Lancaster County be a model of prosperity. That's the foundation that we're shooting for in everything that we do, and gearing towards that vision of a model of prosperity. So in order to accomplish this, we're talking about a mission statement. It's create an environment and facilitate partnerships that impact success in our county's prosperity. And what does that mean? What's this about creating environments? Well, environments can be any, we can have an environment, a shared environment like we created this afternoon with all of you. Just spend 10 minutes doing a quick exercise of an environment of sharing, of shared ideas, of shared thoughts, concepts, and bringing together a very diverse mindset so that we could solve and work towards a solution of a common problem. Environment can also be something as big as the new building that the Chamber is going to be moving into. And you'll hear more about that later, about how that plays exactly into what we're trying to do in order to create a very collaborative environment and different points of access for all of you to engage the Chamber. Not just those of us that are sitting in this room right now, but also other people, other businesses that maybe aren't currently members of the Chamber. Other people that don't feel as though they're so impacted and connected with the business community. But how do we reach out and find ways, non-traditional ways, to get more and more people involved? Because one of the things that we've noticed, and I think all of you recognize, is the more people are working to solve a problem, the more possible solutions and generation of ideas are going to come our way, and the better chances we have of finding a solution. So you've heard this phrase, and you probably didn't even know how important this was, but Tom talked about, as we created solutions here, we're creating access to accelerate ideas, opportunities, and solutions. And we're going to create that in lots of different ways.
We're going to create learning opportunities. We're going to create joint efforts among different members, non-members, different businesses, put together maybe people that hadn't been put together in the past, create an environment that you can connect with other businesses and share that information. You know, the old walls around information that was proprietary kind of stuff, that just doesn't work in the society we're living in today. There is so much shared information. If you won't give it to me, you know what? I can go find it somewhere else. I mean, it can be as simple as, hey, you know, can you give me your phone number or an address so I can connect with you? Think about this. If you don't want to give it to me, I can go get it somewhere else. It's not, you know, we don't, it's all this stuff. Just about everything that you would want to know is available somewhere. Well, the Chamber recognizes, you know, we can't stand here and try to create an environment, a wall around something that we're doing, or even any barriers between the 2,000 business members that we have now and the 11,000 businesses that are part of Lancaster County. What are we going to do to change that dynamic and create better access for everyone to create opportunities, solutions, and ideas that can impact this community? So finally, we're going to do this through these same core competencies that you've seen the Chamber execute on in years past. Right? We're going to lead, connect, and innovate. These are things that the Chamber does well. You've seen us do well in the past. You're dependent on us. We lead through our political advocacy work. We lead through taking stands and positions on different business issues that are in front of us. We connect all of you together in different mixers, in different business learning opportunities, in different events throughout the entire community. And we innovate. I mean, we're trying to model ourselves through this entire process, some innovative business strategies, in order for us to maintain the validity for what our existence is all about. How do we make sure that we're evolving and innovating and creating new business ideas that are going to go forward, that are going to sustain us for the long haul and provide the best value for each one of you as a business person in this community, but then also for the county as a whole, and encourage the prosperity of the community. So to talk a little bit more about this and to really dial into how we're going to accomplish each one of these things, I'm going to turn back to Tom, and he's going to take it from here.
Thank you, Peter. Let's give it up for Peter Barber, please. Sometimes I like to think of myself as the third dude. How do you think that's going? I do want to acknowledge Peter and frankly, Two Dudes Painting. As I'm sure you can all appreciate, when you're chair of the Chamber for a year, we ask a lot of you, and not the least of which is 7 of these meetings around the county during the month of January. But it's a significant commitment of time and energy and resources, and it's not just Peter that's giving us that, but it's also his company that's basically saying to their founder, you go for a year and we'll try to take care of things here without you. It's a significant sacrifice on Two Dudes' part, it's a significant sacrifice on Pete's part, and I just want to acknowledge and thank Pete and Two Dudes Painting for what they've done to allow the Chamber to benefit from his leadership through the course of the next year. I also want to acknowledge some people in this room broadly, and that is our board members and members of our Envision Future Task Force. As Pete mentioned, in the process that we've gone through over the course of the year, it's involved a lot of time from our board, a lot of thoughtful consideration, some dialogue, discussion, and it's also involved over 500 hours of a task force that's been meeting regularly and thoroughly to try to make sure that this new future for the Chamber is well thought out, discussed, and dialogued. So would the members of the task force and the board members that are here please stand to be recognized. There we go. Thank you very much. Thank you. So 2 other things. Before I get into our 4 strategic priorities for 2016, I want to just share a context of both of them, of where we are right now. First of all, thanks to the ongoing support and tremendous engagement of Lancaster County business community, we address our future from a position of strength. It was just 2 years ago that we were recognized as the Chamber of the Year in the country, and that is solely due to the testament of the commitment of this local business community, and frankly, how unique we are to have that type of business community in Lancaster County. This is not a chamber that's desperate for where our future is going to lead us because we're dying on the vine. This is a chamber that wants to be sure that we're progressive and meeting the needs of our business community now and for many years to come. So we're pleased to be able to kind of position ourselves for change at a time of strength, not at a time of concern, but we're anxious for what the future brings as a result of that change. The second thing that I want to emphasize is that our change that I'm about to go over with you today is an evolutionary process. This is not a change that we will flip a switch and come March 1, June 1, we're different. It's going to be a process over time. It's a process that's going to be thoughtful. It's going to be a process that's going to continually seek your feedback and input. And it's a process that has the opportunity to shift and evolve along the way so that we're not being reckless with the value that we bring right now as the collective business community. So it is a time frame that we are working on. We have some details to provide today, but not as many as some would like. But recognize that it's an ongoing process, and we will continually touch base with you to find out to let you know where we are and to get your feedback on that throughout the journey. Okay, so with all that said, let me go over our 4 strategic priorities for 2016. The first one is to deliver on this new value proposition. And whether you heard Pete say it or not, whether you heard it at the very beginning, you're going to hear it a lot, but that new value proposition is to accelerate access to ideas, opportunities, and solutions. The fact of the matter is, as Pete has said, the information is out there. The opportunity to connect is out there. But the real value the Chamber can bring to this local business community is to accelerate access to those opportunities, to make sure that you're getting the information you need, sometimes even before you know you need it, to enable you to be able to connect to people all across this county, not just to do business and learn from the 2,200 Chamber member companies, but and 50% of the workforce that's part of those 2,200 companies, but rather to have the opportunity to connect you to business opportunities with all 11,000 businesses in Lancaster County, and to learn from all 250,000 members of the local workforce, and to have the Chamber be that platform to accelerate the opportunities for you in all those areas. This is really about investing in human capital for your company's success and our county's prosperity. And that's what we want to deliver on. So our outcome, we're way past all this. Click away there, here we go. All right, so our outcome, this is when I think I'm so cool that I don't have to look at the screen and then I realize it's nowhere near what I'm talking about. So anyway, so much for being a dude, I guess. So our outcome for this over the course of the next year is to make sure that what we're doing is building an expanded access of network of people, businesses, and community opportunities so that we can all benefit. I want your business to benefit and be better as a result of what you've gotten from the Chamber that helps your business, but I also want our collective business community to benefit as a result of what we're all doing together. Workforce discussion is a classic example of exactly what we want to model in trying to make sure we're delivering value. The second strategic priority is to deliver a new business model. And this is really about completely creating a whole new way of thinking and a whole new way of acting. It's about having you holding us accountable in ways that you don't currently hold us accountable. It's us earning on a daily basis your trust and confidence in the value we provide and the impact that we're making so that you're using your limited corporate dollars on supporting the Chamber because you know you're going to get a benefit out of it. The business model that we're suggesting breaks down into 3 business units. So there will be the Chamber as you know it, as the umbrella organization, as you know and love it as the umbrella organization. Underneath that umbrella organization, though, there will be 3 separate and distinct business units that we'll be treating with intentionality, that staff will be assigned to, and that will be focused on in each area with a bottom line and expectations and accountability. The first business unit that I want to share with you is our Business Solutions unit. That is effectively going to be run as a for-profit company. That is where we will do all of our professional development training. That is where we will do all of our value-added products. That is where we will do our events. And that is where we will be intentional about connecting the entire business community to one another. That is not a member-only function. That no longer, as Peter has just well described, that no longer works. That type of hoarding information and creating protective barriers is not the way of the future. And frankly, not the way a lot of young people even care to participate. They want to participate on their time, at their interest, and with anybody they choose to, and we want to be the source that provides them that opportunity and that information. So the Business Solutions Center, Business Center of the Chamber is not a member, non-member. It's open to absolutely everybody. And for those members right now that are saying, what's in that for me? What's in it for you is you'll be able to connect to 11,000 businesses throughout this county as a result of the welcoming atmosphere that we're going to be creating through all our programs and services through the Business Center. That's the Business Solutions. We also anticipate that you will see a lot more opportunity for professional development and training, and to Cheryl's point, more on demand, more online, more collaborative with local colleges and universities, a lot more opportunity for you to take advantage of the delivery of services of the Chamber that everybody will benefit from. The second part of our business unit is the community prosperity effort. That is the effort that, like it or not, you all just participated in. That's the effort that is going to be intentional about the way in which we address community issues as a business community. We, the Chamber, are not in a position to solve the issue of poverty. So we don't own that table. But as a community, we better be certain that the business voice is represented at that table of the discussions around poverty. So when the community solutions are rolled out, it involves all sectors of our community as part of the dialogue. And we want to be sure that we're representing the business community's voice in those efforts. And to do that, we want to be sure through our community prosperity efforts that we're engaging the business community in these conversations like the one we just had on workforce on a regular basis to ensure that we're getting the best information from the business community, and then through our local businesses or through the Chamber staff or through other means, making sure that that perspective is portrayed in the community dialogue. Issues around affordable housing, around poverty, around education, around pre-K, around transportation, around the environment. All these types of issues that are out there that impact your business, whether you want to admit it or not, require the business community involved in that type of dialogue. And that's what we want to do with the community prosperity effort of the Chamber. Currently, I will just share with you, because it's going to happen at 5:30 this evening, and some of us are going to race over there. But at TELUS 360, our Young Professionals Network is having a discussion. We have over 120, I think, signed up for that right now, at least registered. A lot of them don't register and will just show up, which is great. But the County Comprehensive Plan, done once a decade, defining all the opportunities of zoning and how we want to prioritize areas for development within our county. And it's essential that we get the local business community involved in that process and having that dialogue. So we're hosting a meeting with our young professionals. County Planning is coming to present the components of the County Comprehensive Plan, and the young professionals will be giving them feedback on that. These are the types of conversations that the Chamber wants to be much more intentional about, much more directive about being part of, to ensure the business voice is represented in the business community. The final piece is the foundation. We currently have a foundation right now, a 501c3 organization designed for charitable purposes, but we really don't use it, other than it houses one of our greatest programs, Leadership Lancaster. But in addition, what we want to do now with that foundation is be much more thoughtful about how we use it and how we take that foundation and solicit monies outside of this county. We're not going to the Community Foundation, we're not going to the High Foundation, we're not going to the Armstrong Foundation and kind of cannibalizing all the efforts that are out there right now in the local community to try to get that money. But we are going to have a discussion with our business community. We're going to come up with that tremendous, as an example, business education partnership concept that we can mobilize in Lancaster County as a really doable area. And we're going to go to the Lumina Foundations of the world, and we're going to say, for $1.5 million for 3 years, let us try this program, and let's see what a difference we can make in our community in that way. And we want to be more thoughtful about that, and again, we want you to hold us accountable to that type of activity and those types of results. In all three of these areas, we hope that you will find ways to engage, not just in one of them, but in all three of those areas, We want to be sure that you find value, and we want to be sure that we have specific ways in which we're going to be held accountable to you for performance and results. And all of that is some of this stuff yet to come. But this is obviously an essential part of what this envisioned future entails for us, an entirely new business model, one of which no other chamber in the country that we're aware of has anything like it. So we're very excited to engage our long-standing partnership with the local business community to do this journey together. The third strategic priority for 2016 is to take our county prosperity indicators, which are now 4 years old. They are done in conjunction with our partners at the United Way of Lancaster County, the Community Foundation of Lancaster, county government, and LNP Media Group. And every year, we unveil the results of our 36 indicators throughout this county that look at things to determine whether or not this county is on track for a prosperous future. They range from kindergarten preparedness, to the unemployment rate, to the quality of our water, to the number of people that vote. It's a host of different areas, 36 of them in total, that make up the components of a prosperous community. We want to take those components and begin to own some, not just report on them, not just measure and monitor, but own and implement, and move the needle, and make sure the business community realizes what those priorities should be. In addition, we want to take those community prosperity indicators and be more intentional about how other community partners can grab a hold of some of them and say, I got this one, I'll take it and run with it, and in a coordinated fashion, make a much bigger impact in our community toward that effort of creating a county that's recognized as a model of prosperity. The next and the last strategic priority for us is what you might have read about in the paper, what Peter has alluded to, and that is this transition to a brand new building. Now, let me be clear about this transition to a brand new building. This is not about the Chamber's opportunity to move into a palatial bricks and mortar place and just be fat and happy. We don't know if there's a wet bar in there yet or not, but we're still working on it. But this is not what, there isn't one. But this is not what this is about. This is about having a building that can embrace not only your vision, but our collective business community vision for the future, and embody all the things that the Chamber is aspiring to become through this new envisioned future. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, in fact, no, I don't want to go there yet. Keep that up there for a second. What I mean by that is this. There are two key components to this new building that are completely aligned with this new direction of the Chamber. The first is one entire floor of the building, 8,200 square feet, is going to be dedicated entirely to being a business center. Flexible space, high technology, very inviting, open to everybody for professional development training, for your corporate meetings and strategic planning sessions, to nonprofits that need a place for their board to meet, and not, again, specific to membership or non-membership as we think of it traditionally in the Chamber, but rather open to everybody. That embodies what we envision to be the new impact and the new future of the Chamber, and it just so happens to come with this building. The other piece of it is we're sharing this building with tenants, Economic Development Company of Lancaster County, Lancaster City Alliance, Leadership Lancaster, and the Business Group on Health. In that way, we're encouraging and fostering additional collaboration. We're all going to be working together. We're looking at efficiencies from the back office perspective, but more importantly, we're looking at additional revenues to be able to better work on our respective missions and therefore make Lancaster County a model of prosperity. We're really excited about how this building lends itself to that. It promotes partnerships, which is key to our success, and it also provides this business opportunity, this business center, which is key to the business community's success. And we're really excited about how all this converges at the same time. So, this is the building that we are in the process of purchasing. It is 115 East King Street. It is in the middle of what could be considered a transitional block, and we are extremely excited to be one of the people that is helping with that transition and bring it over to the edge toward really a prosperous block in downtown Lancaster. But we're even more excited by the fact that this is the building now, and this is the building, thanks to Rieslauer, Patrick and Scott Architects and Warfel Construction, that we're going to be turning it into. They have done a phenomenal job at reimagining this entire building and what it can be. And again, this is the statement that we want to make for the local business community. This doesn't just help you all in its ability to welcome everybody, but it also says a statement to the outsiders about how Lancaster County values their business community. And when we're trying to recruit an outside company to come into Lancaster, to consider locating here, to see all these people in one building and to have an environment that suggests this type of cooperation and shows physically how important the local business community is, makes a huge difference. And we're really excited to have the opportunity to do that to enhance Lancaster County's future. So that's the building. It also, by the way, because this comes up in a lot of surveys, it has 84 parking spaces in it. And it has a full parking garage immediately across the street. So we're in really good shape from a parking perspective. The next slide, this is the business center. This is that area that will be involved soft meeting space. It'll have touchdown stations where you can charge up. It'll have stand-up meeting space. It has more formal meeting spaces with flexible opportunity. It has a catering kitchen. It has lots of stuff. But it'll be a very robust room or floor for the entire business community's use. And I can't end without saying it also involves a capital campaign. Because if we're going to do this, frankly, we need the rest of the business community to invest with us in making sure it's successful. Capital campaign will not be launched until the March-April timeframe, so stay tuned for that. Unless you're really itching and you really want to get in early and give us a lot of money, we're happy to engage in that discussion at any time, now or tomorrow or any time. But that's the Chamber's future. That's what we're looking to do. This is what we're evolving toward, and the building is simply symbolic of all the programming and opportunity that we want to provide as a result of the repositioning of the Lancaster Chamber and, frankly, the repositioning of connecting the broader business community. With that, I'm going to invite Cheryl and Pete up, and I would turn it over to you folks to see if you have either any questions or any instant feedback or commentary. Honestly, yes, thank you. And when you do, please state your name and company.
Hi Tom, I'm A.J. Ekman. I work for, I'm here from Lancaster Chamber Professionals, and my question would be, joining as an individual, I know that wasn't done before, and it sounds like now anyone can come. Tell us more about the benefits of that, and then as a paying member, like what the differences would be in that.
So, remember I said this is a work in progress?
Exactly.
So, we have launched 2 task forces, one specific to the Business Center, one to the Community Prosperity Center. And those task forces that Cheryl's leading the Community Prosperity Task Force. Anne-Marie Hall, who is in the back there, is leading the Business Center Task Force. And that work over the next 6 months is going to better define all of this. However, broadly speaking, I will just reiterate, the Business Center portion of our efforts is open to anybody. Member as we know it, or non-member, or whatever, open to anybody, individual, company, whatever. The Community Prosperity section is where we'll be seeking investments of companies that believe in what we're doing, companies or individuals that believe in what we're doing, that want to participate and be part of the solution, and are focused and want to contribute specifically to our capacity to make a positive difference in Lancaster County. Awesome. Do you want to add anything to that?
The only thing I would add about the individual component is it does open up. So, currently, because you have to be a member to be, a participant in a lot of these things, there is that threshold of membership. Without that threshold, it does allow individuals, regardless of your situation. So maybe you're unemployed at the moment, or maybe your company just isn't going to pay or reimburse for something, but the threshold now allows individuals to be able to afford that participation as well.
Yes, so.
I just want to say that I've lived in a lot of communities and worked with a lot of chambers. I can
I'm very excited at the leap of faith that you're doing with the new model. And I think we all probably know, but if you don't know, it's an amazing chamber. Again, having been in a lot of different places, so I just want to say it's very exciting.
Thank you.
Thanks.
By the way, we have a pretty amazing United Way too, just in case you didn't know. Let's be clear. Seriously, you folks are going to get the award. Mr. Lyons, yes.
John Lyons, I'm Lancaster General. Tom, what's the Chamber's role in the Mayor's Commission on Poverty?
So, it's an interesting question. Thank you. So I serve on it as one of 12, I think 12 members that are on the commission. So we're at the table. It's and we basically at the table, I would say, it's fair to say, represent the business community. Jess King from Assets is also on it. She obviously is business centric in her representation as well, but maybe not the traditional business that I would represent versus what she would represent. So we're at the table, we're part of the discussions. We haven't yet evolved enough as a commission to really know what the ultimate role of the chamber will be, because it's still in its infancy, but I can assure you that within the next 18 months there will be plans and proposals out there, and those plans and proposals obviously will have an impact or will demand the engagement of the business community, because it's no secret that jobs and wages are essential if we're going to be successfully combating the issue of poverty in Lancaster City. Anybody else? Get the award for the fewest questions, but maybe it's also because it's the end of the day and you're ready to head out as well.
So if there aren't any other questions, just want to thank you again for all coming out and let you know that this year is quite possibly the most dynamic, exciting, and challenging year the Chamber is ever going to face. And we're really going to need your feedback, your support, and your enthusiasm throughout the entire process. You know, this is a transitional year that we're transitioning a business model, we're transitioning into a new building. I mean, think about this in your own personal life. This is like getting a new job, getting a new house, and getting married in the same year. And it's like all this stuff is happening, which is great. There's a lot of energy behind it. And I can tell you, for myself personally to be invested in this, it's taking this kind of thing in order to keep me super engaged. I mean, we've always been evolutionary in how our business operates, and it's great to see this kind of evolution with the Chamber. And want to see your continued engagement. Your participation today is a first step in that. Feedback that you're going to give us in some of the follow-up polls that we're going to send to you, some of the feedback that you've given us now, some of the information that you've given us along the way has been very important in establishing where we're at, where we're going to go, and we need to continue to get that in order to make this whole program successful and that we can be most impactful for the business community, for your business, and for this county as a whole. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, wait. Oh, my goodness. Hold on. The most dang clever thing, we forgot to do it. So, at your table, you have that little cup of Legos. And you're thinking, what the heck is that little cup of Legos? Well, here's what it is. What we'd like you to do is write your company name on the Legos. And as you exit, you are going to help us build our new building by placing the Lego on the model that's right out here, out this door. So please make sure you go out this door. And placing your Lego as part of our building. The building currently represents the 350 or so companies thus far that have been a part of these engagements. Now we want to be sure that we're adding today's 120 to that as well. So please fill that out. Thank you very much. I know we can do this together. I cannot wait for the journey with all of you. Look forward to it. Goodbye.